Good evening, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don, as promised, in here with a severe weather update. We welcome those of you who are listening this evening via radio, WFAZ, God's Country, 90.9, and WJHO, 89.7, The Classic. And, of course, our viewers on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and DrDonWX.com. The radar is absolutely lit up this evening with showers and thunderstorms. Also, we have multiple warnings in place this evening across West Alabama, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and we also have a handful of tornado warnings that remain active over there in West and Southwest Alabama as well. We have a tornado watch that covers several counties in East Alabama. That watch is in effect until 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. That includes, in our coverage area, basically includes the counties of Talladega, Coosa, and down into Elmore County. It does not cover the Anniston-Oxford area. It does not cover the rest of the East Alabama counties at this time. I think by 10 p.m. we're going to find out exactly what the Storm Prediction Center is going to do with this tornado watch, whether they're going to extend it further to the east, or whether they issue a severe thunderstorm watch, or what the deal is going to be. We're just kind of watching to see how that's going to play out. So for those of you that are watching on social media and listening to us on radio, I still think the after midnight time frame is good. We certainly could see rain across East Alabama before midnight, but I think the severe part of this event, if we're going to have severe weather across East Alabama and West Georgia, will come after midnight tonight, probably toward about 1 a.m. when this comes through. Now, we've got a mess out there across the state of Alabama and in Georgia for that fact. We have a lot of high gradient winds out there that are running anywhere from 20 to 40 miles per hour, and we have a lot of brush fires and forest fires that are burning tonight all across the state of Alabama and Georgia, and this wind is fueling the flames, so to speak. So we got a mess out there. A lot of firefighters are out working, forestry commissions in both Alabama and Georgia working feverishly this evening to try to contain those fires. And we're not going to get much help from Mother Nature until the rain actually starts in your particular area. So if you see smoke or fire, or if you know of one that's burning in your general vicinity, then you're going to want to pay very close attention to that hazard as well, because with the winds the way they are, these fires are going to spread very quickly. And quite honestly, with the winds blowing and gusting 30, 40 miles per hour, there's very little firefighters can do. So be aware of that possibility as well as we go through the rest of this evening. And so we also have numerous reports of trees and power lines down across the state. We have trees and power lines down everywhere, and all of this is from non-thunderstorm winds that are occurring across Alabama and Georgia this evening, and that's going to continue until we get this line through here sometime after midnight into the mid-morning hours of Thursday morning. So again, the timing on East Alabama, I think we will probably start to see rain west of the east of I-65 after about 11 p.m. But the line of storms where the severe weather seems to be concentrated most likely will not make it into most of East Alabama and West Georgia until after midnight, maybe toward 1 a.m. If you're going to go to bed tonight, please make sure you have some way of being notified if a severe weather watch or warning is issued for your area. NOAA Weather Radio is the best option there. Make sure you have a good app on your phone that's going to sound a very loud alarm that will wake you up. This is one of those situations. It's not safe to just go to bed tonight without any way of being notified of severe weather in your area. So I know it's getting close to bedtime for some folks. Normally, it would be close to bedtime for me, but I'm here with you all night long. And I got to tell you, unless you have a NOAA weather radio or some means of being woke up during the middle of the night, it's just not a safe night to go to bed at this time across East Alabama and West Georgia. You got to be aware of what is going on so that you can take the actions necessary to protect yourself and your family in the event that we do have severe weather in the next couple of hours or so. So we're going to pause for just a second or two and let our radio stations go back to regular programming. I'll tell those of you who are listening via radio that our intentions now are that we will come back around between 11:30 and midnight to go live with our continuous wall-to-wall coverage. We're thinking between 11:30 and midnight, we will be back with you, and most likely we will stay with you then for the duration of this event. Of course, if something were to change before that time, I'll be right back with you. So if you're listening to us on radio, if you're going to be close to a social media outlet, or if you want to listen to us on radio, we'll start back with our wall-to-wall coverage sometime around 11:30, between 11:30 and midnight tonight for East Alabama. So we'll pause 10 seconds, let our radio stations resume regular programming, and I'll be right back with you here on social media. You're listening to live severe weather coverage on Dr. Don's Weather. Guys, back in here with you, and I just got to tell you, I'm just looking through some of the damage reports coming in from the National Weather Service. Not seeing a whole lot in the way of tornado damage. Not seeing a tremendous amount of damage from the line of thunderstorms so far. But what we are seeing is a lot of trees down across Alabama and Georgia because of the gradient winds that are running out ahead of this line of thunderstorms. And so one thing I want to show you, if I can get back over here to it, well, let me find it right quick. I wanted to show you the current wind gust, and I'll hit up on it here in just a few minutes. Okay, I think we're there. All right, so here are the current wind gusts across Alabama and Georgia. Everywhere you see white, those are winds gusting anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour. And so that's a large area, and it stretches really from Macon, Georgia, all the way back into almost Jackson, Mississippi. So we're in that heavy wind now, and that is going to continue for several more hours across East Alabama and West Georgia. The pink shaded areas, those are winds running from 20 to about 30 miles per hour, and the white shaded areas are 30 to 40 miles per hour. The blue is about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So you can see that it is very windy across East Alabama, all of East Alabama and West Georgia, with those winds running at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. And as this line of thunderstorms gets closer to you, that rain is going to start to pull even more wind down from the upper levels of the atmosphere. And so that's going to add to it. And then when the line comes through, that's when we could see those straight line damaging winds across the area. And the National Weather Service is literally warning for every single county along that line of thunderstorms. Let me take some of this stuff off of the radar, and you'll be able to get a better idea of what I'm talking about. We'll take all the reflectivity off, and then you can see all of those orange polygons. Those are all severe thunderstorm warnings. We have one up there just west of Huntsville. Then we have a little break in the action, and then it stretches from just west of Birmingham all the way down to Biloxi, Mississippi. Actually, it goes all the way down almost to New Orleans with severe thunderstorm warnings. And then you see those flashing red and white polygons. Those are tornado warnings. Anywhere you see a large concentration of lightning strikes, like this storm down here in Mississippi about to cross into Alabama, that's going to be down there northwest of Mobile near Centinel. That's a tornado-producing thunderstorm down there. You see all that lightning. And then everywhere you see the red and white flashing polygons, we have a tremendous amount of lightning output. So, that's one sign that you can look for if you notice a sudden increase in lightning output. It's really, the sky's just lit up constantly, and we're in an environment like we are tonight. Go ahead and seek shelter even before a warning is issued, because that's a sign that there may be a tornado in that thunderstorm if you have constant lightning taking place there close by. So we'll put the reflectivity back on, and it'll take just a second to pop in there. And you can see, too, this earlier when we were talking about this, we were talking about how thin the line was, and it might not last very long. But you can see what's happened since then. We've got moderate to heavy rainfall that has developed out ahead of the front, and we have moderate to heavy rainfall back behind the front. So the rain coverage area has widened significantly over the last 3 or 4 hours. So it's raining now from downtown Birmingham all the way back into Mississippi. So that's going to take a while to get that through here. I think the rain will start after 11 p.m. for most of East Alabama, and I think we'll have rain probably through 3 or 4 a.m., maybe even a little longer than that. The worst of the weather right along that line probably won't last that long, 30 to 45 minutes, but it's going to be raining for quite some time. It's going to be wet out there. It's not going to be good driving conditions either. So that's kind of where we stand, and, it's one of those situations where we're hoping things start to calm down, but we have actually seen an uptick in warnings in the last 30 to 45 minutes or so. We still think, though, as these storms cross over I-65, that they will start to weaken some, but we're still going to have an all hazards threat here. All modes of severe weather will certainly be possible across East Alabama and West Georgia. So I'm going to go up here to the chat room now and see if there's any questions I need to answer, and then we're going to step aside. And again, like I said, I'll come back between 11:30 and midnight, and we'll begin our long-form coverage to get you through this thing. Will the bad stuff make it to Roanoke? Yeah, there's that possibility, Brittany. All of East Alabama and West Georgia is in a heightened risk for severe weather tonight as this storm moves through. So I'm not sitting here telling you that it's going to be as bad in Roanoke as it is over in West Alabama, but the potential is certainly there. It could happen. Quick peek at Nashville. All right, I'm going to have to change radars right quick. We'll put the mosaic back on, and it is actually moving through Nashville. The line is as we speak. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning up there, and it is suggesting that this cell is going to move through the southern sections of Nashville, maybe right through downtown. It's not a tornado warning, it's a severe thunderstorm warning. Having said that, though, and I've been saying this all day, treat severe thunderstorm warnings tonight just as though they were tornado warnings because of the wind threat that's coming with these thunderstorms. So if you're in the Nashville area, or if you know someone who is in the Nashville area, basically from downtown to the south, you might want to consider going to your safe place. If you know somebody that lives up there, you might want to call them and tell them that just make sure they're aware they're under a severe thunderstorm warning, and suggest to them that they treat that as though it's a tornado warning in this particular weather setup. That's the best idea to stay safe in this environment. So we'll go back now to the next rad composite, and we'll pull the radar back down to East Alabama and West Georgia. So how is it going to be here in Pine Mountain, Georgia? You're in West Georgia. All of East Alabama and West Georgia will deal with this line of thunderstorms at some point in the next 4 to 6 hours. We're thinking that this line of storms will be in a weakening mode when it comes through East Alabama and West Georgia. However, it is still going to pack quite the punch, we think. Damaging straight line winds, I believe, will be the biggest threat for Pine Mountain, West Georgia, and all of East Alabama when this line comes through. I don't expect to see numerous tornado warnings like we see out there right now. I think the tornado threat will be in a waning mode, though we cannot completely rule out a tornado warning across East Alabama or West Georgia. I would expect the biggest threat for Pine Mountain, all of West Georgia, all of East Alabama to come from damaging straight line winds. Amanda's asking the question, do I expect the watch area to be extended for all of East Alabama as the storm approaches? I think there's a pretty good chance that will happen. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to say there's probably about a 7 chance that that tornado watch will get extended. There's a little bit of a question there, and it really depends on what happens over the course of the next hour or so. If we start to see the tornado threat dwindle, there's an outside chance they may replace it with a severe thunderstorm watch. But then again, because of the wind profile with this particular setup tonight and the dangers of seeing damaging straight line winds, they may just continue with a tornado watch instead of a severe thunderstorm watch. So we'll see. I think there's a good chance that we will see some type of watch extended over into East Alabama and probably West Georgia as well as we go throughout the evening and overnight hours. Colton, same thing for Wedowee. Wedowee is in East Alabama. All of East Alabama and West Georgia. You got to deal with this line of storms before the night's over with. Wind speed, right now you've got 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gust across the area. Those are non-thunderstorm winds. As the line comes through, if the line is severe, by the time it gets to East Alabama, you could be looking at damaging straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Yes, Amanda, I do expect the tornado watch to include Randolph County. It goes back to what I was just saying. There's a chance it could be a severe thunderstorm watch, but I think we will be under some type of weather watch in Randolph County and all of East Alabama and West Georgia within the next hour and a half to 2 hours. Yeah, so question about Linden, Alabama, that's down there in southwest Alabama. I really think the tornado threat is in the process of transferring to southwest Alabama. And that's just not good news. So I think that we're going to see more tornado warnings down here in southwest Alabama as we go throughout the night than we will across the rest of the state. Having said that, just about the time I said that, we have a new... We've got so many warnings out there, it's hard to get the computer to act right. Let me go... All right, so we have a tornado warning, and this is an observed tornado, so this is confirmed. The tornado warning for northeastern Pickens County... Let's see. All right, this is a tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County at 9:16 p.m. A confirmed tornado was located near Lake Lurleen State Park, or 9 miles east of Gordo, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Again, that is a confirmed tornado. Tornado warning remains in effect until 9:45 for northwestern Tuscaloosa County. So if you know anybody over there in Tuscaloosa County, give them a call and just make sure that they are aware that we have a confirmed tornado over here. Now, this is going to be north of downtown Tuscaloosa. This is not going to affect the University of Tuscaloosa, or any of Northport. You're okay. This is going to be up there northwest Tuscaloosa County, up by Lake Lurleen. Now, it's about to storm in Tuscaloosa. It's going to get pretty nasty there. And there is a thunderstorm cell to the southwest of Tuscaloosa that is possibly producing a tornado. So folks at the University of Alabama need to pay attention to what's coming up I-20. But the current warning for Tuscaloosa County would be up there in the northwestern part of the county, and it's moving to the northeast. So that particular cell will not affect Tuscaloosa, but there are other cells downstream possibly producing a tornado that will affect Tuscaloosa. So got to keep an eye on that as we go over the next hour or so. And then down here in southwest Alabama, southwest of Thomasville, this is going to be just north of Millery. If you know where Coffeyville is, we've got a possible tornado down there. And that's going to be northeast of Silas. And that is moving off to the northeast. We do have folks down in that part of the state that watch us here on Dr. Don's Weather. So we do not have ongoing severe weather across our coverage area. So we'll just kind of take a peek at some of these storms as we go throughout our coverage here until storms start to affect us here in East Alabama and West Georgia. Another storm down there, just that one coming out of Mississippi, just north of Centinel, that is producing a possible tornado down there also. That one, if you're over here in Jackson or Monroeville, Beatrice area, then that one is down there just north of Centinel is one of concern for you. So you need to pay attention to that and watch it pretty closely. And then back up into central Alabama. My goodness, what a mess. That is just a mess right there. And as advertised, it's going to be a stormy night across the state of Alabama and eventually into Georgia. Panama City. Let's take that off and put the mosaic back on, and we'll ride down to PC and see what we got. We got a bunch of young'uns acting crazy down there is what we got. I don't know if y'all been following the news out of Panama City. My goodness. I thought the class of 1980 was rowdy. We didn't do anything compared to what I'm seeing going on down there now. Wow. All right, so nothing at all down there right now. It's a beautiful night currently in Panama City, but look back over there around Biloxi. That's what will be eventually moving to the east, and we'll get into the Panama City area. Probably going to be toward daybreak, maybe 4, 5, 6 a.m. before we start to see any weather down there in Panama City. Now, of course, we'll see it in Gulf Shores and Orange Beach much sooner, and then Pensacola, and then Fort Walton and Destin will get it. But Panama City still got several hours to go before anything happens down there. Smith Station, yes. Smith Station over here close to Columbus. You're looking probably, again, pre-dawn hours maybe, or right around sunrise in the morning before it gets to the Georgia state line. which is in the general area where Smith Station's at. So several more hours before you see it over there. Dadeville, you're in East Alabama. Same thing for all of East Alabama. After midnight, probably toward 1 a.m. before the main line gets in there. Looking at gusty winds. Damaging straight line winds will be possible, and we cannot rule out the possibility of a tornado across East Alabama as well. Thanks for the stars. I appreciate you guys sending me stars. That helps us out. It helps support us, and we appreciate it. I'm going to put the, for those of you that don't know what this is, it is a way to support us on Facebook. And there's the link. And what you do, you click on that, you buy stars, and then you can give us those stars. You should have an option of doing that there on the feed. And that is a big help. We greatly do appreciate it. Windy in Davidson tonight. I'm sure it is. Radar is estimating 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gust. Michelle, it won't last all night. I mean, you're not going to even see it probably until close to midnight. That's when the rain will start. And then we may have a couple of hours of just light to moderate rain, and then that main line of storms will move through. That's where the greatest risk for severe weather will be. But it's going to be windy, whether we have severe thunderstorms move through or not. It is going to be very windy. That wind is going to continue for another 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours. So, yeah, be careful. I mean, I wouldn't even go outside tonight unless I absolutely had to, because, when you get 20, 30 to 40 mile per hour winds, trees start to fall. Limbs are coming down. Our state bird, the trampolines, are flying around all over the place. Trash cans, anything that was not secured outside is moving about this evening. I guarantee you. Some folks are going to go outside tomorrow morning, and that brand new patio furniture that they bought last week when the weather was so nice is going to be down in the creek or in your next door neighbor's backyard. The winds are just that strong out there, and it's going to continue for several more hours. My buddy Lewis Battle, one of the greatest, well, this is what Chuck Markham says anyway, one of my greatest high school football calls involved Mr. Lewis Battle. In a little ball game down against the Warhawks in Daleville, Alabama. Remember it just like it was yesterday. And trust me, it was not just yesterday. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not going to forget the coffee. I'm going to stay with you guys. What is it, 9:29? I'm going to stay with you about another 5 minutes or so, and then going to step aside till about 11:30, quarter till 12, somewhere around there. We'll come back and we'll start our long-form coverage. And I'll have the coffee pot with us then. That's correct, Jennifer. Thank you for pointing that out. There's a star icon beside the comment box that you can click on, and that'll get you where you need to go if you want to help support us and send us some stars. Pepper's asking the question, is the storm system expected to weaken as it passes into Georgia? It is expected to weaken from the state that it is in right now. Now, it's pretty nasty right now. You see there, if you're looking at the screen, if you'll look over there in West Alabama, and I'll move that over just a little bit so you can see it a little better, all those flashing polygons, those are all tornado warnings. And you can't even see the severe thunderstorm warnings because of the convection, the radar that's on there. Let me take the radar off, then you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so the orange polygons are severe thunderstorm warnings, and the flashing red and white, those are tornado warnings. So that's about as active as you will ever see. A line of thunderstorms moving across the state of Alabama at any given one time. So, yes, the line will be weakening from this state as it moves into the state of Georgia, but it's still going to be strong. And that's the thing that's been concerning me. Some of the big meteorologists and some of the television stations have been advertising for the last 2 days, oh, it's going to be weakening. It's going to be weakening. And that sends out, I think it's sending out the wrong message. Yes, it will be weakening, but it's still going to be very strong, and the potential for a tornado will still exist, even though I don't think we'll see the number of tornado warnings as we have right now. So I hope that answered your question, Pepper. Yes, it will be weakening, but it's still going to be pretty strong by the time it gets into Georgia, and you need to remain weather aware throughout this entire event. Same thing up in Heflin. A line of thunderstorms with gusty straight line winds, potentially 60, 70 mile per hour straight line winds. So I got to tell you, I'm not seeing a tremendous amount of damage. I'm not seeing a tremendous amount of damage from straight line winds so far. I am seeing a lot of reports of trees down. Of course, when trees fall, power lines come down, and we lose power. But I'm not seeing reports of structure damage. Let's put it that way. We did have at 10:23, which was or 9:23. Which was about 5 minutes ago, we did have a TDS on that storm in Tuscaloosa. That's a tornado debris signature. So that is an indication that we do have a tornado on the ground up here north of Tuscaloosa. This is way up there, northern Tuscaloosa County. Not going to affect the University of Alabama. But this area here, just to the south of Berry, has just crossed over 13, Highway 13 or Highway 43. That particular area is showing a debris signature. So we've got a tornado on the ground up there causing damage. Good news is that's rural. There are not a lot of homes up in that area. I mean, it's not like a major metropolitan area. So we probably see that one make it up onto the north. It most likely will not make it into Jefferson County, so I don't think anybody in Birmingham has to worry about that particular storm. However, there's another storm down here to the south of Tuscaloosa. It is warned now for a tornado as well. Looks like the tornadic part of this storm may be, well, it's just too early to say. I think it may stay a little bit south of Tuscaloosa. I think it might cross over 2059 out there around the Mercedes-Benz plant. I know a lot of folks work out there, so If you know anybody that's at work out there at the plant tonight, you might want to call them and let them know that they need to be watching that storm to their southwest because it will move very close to that plant. And that one could eventually end up in Jefferson County for you Birmingham folks. New tornado warning now. This is going to be for... This is a tornado warning for central Perry County in central Alabama. This warning is in effect until 10:15 p.m. At 9:32, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Marion, moving to the northeast at around 55 miles per hour. So that's central Perry County. And I gotta be honest with you, that's about the best looking signature I've seen. Let's go to the velocity. Yeah, there it is. So there is, fix that. There's your tornado right there. And it is going to that general direction. So the actual center of the tornado will probably be just south of Marion, but if you know anybody that lives in Marion, south of Marion, or anywhere in that general vicinity, call them and make sure they know about that. That's to the northwest of Selma, moving to the northeast. Now, if this storm stays together, it's going to end up in the Bibb County area, probably the southeast corner of Bibb County. Could clip extreme northwest Chilton County, and then eventually get up into Shelby County. So this is the closest threatening thunderstorm that is possibly producing a tornado to East Alabama and West Georgia at this hour, and it is still a pretty good ways away. Go back to the reflectivity. All right, so just to put all of this into perspective, the center of this storm is about 92 miles southwest of downtown Ashland. This storm will move in this general direction here. So most likely will stay out of all of our counties. It's going to be a close, if it holds together, and that's a long way downstream, so there's a good chance that it won't. But if it were to stay together, it could get close to the Talladega County line. But this particular storm moving northeast, while the entire line itself is moving off to the east. Oh, so the bad guys left on Sunday. Okay. Good. That's good to hear, Mike. It was awful to see. I had so many fun trips down to Panama City back in the day, and geez, we thought we were rowdy back in the day. We were tame compared to that. If You live in a mobile home, you need to find somewhere else to go. You do not need to stay in a mobile home if a warning is issued for your area. Folks, here's the deal. If a watch is issued for your area, you need to be going somewhere else. Don't wait until a warning is issued because it could be too late to go anywhere. But make sure that you find, and this is something that you need to do, whether you can make it happen before this line hits tonight or not, you still need to make it happen for the next time, because there will be a next time. Identify somebody, a friend or a family member that has a home that you can go to and stay with them throughout the storm. I mean, worst case scenario, find a business that's open 24 hours and go shopping. I mean, you just do not need to stay in a mobile home. Ozark, Alabama is probably going to be in a little more precarious situation down there because the air is a little more right down here in South Alabama for severe storms. So I think Ozark and Troy, even down into Elba, Enterprise, Andalusia, Dothan, back over toward Eufaula. I think all of you guys down there need to stay weather aware as we go throughout the night. Thank you, Jenny. Yeah, see, Bonnie's saying she can hear pines cracking, and that is correct. There's Mr. Jimmy Stevens. Jimmy's a longtime supporter of Dr. Dodge Weather with Jimmy Stevens Construction. Mr. Jimmy, we appreciate you and appreciate you being here with us tonight. Your patio furniture's already in the pool, huh? Yeah, Roanoke PD is asking everybody to bring their trash can in because of runaways. Thank you, Patricia Brown Truitt. You certainly are. And she works out there at Roger Bell Auto Brokers. And Mr. Roger, they're one of our latest supporters that just joined us. And we appreciate everything that they do out there at Roger Bell. After I moved to Roanoke, bought my first vehicle from Mr. Roger. That was a minute ago also. Graham, Alabama's in the house. Went through Graham Sunday afternoon. Michelle, I highly suggest you find somewhere else to go before this line comes through. I don't know if you're at a campground somewhere. Or, I mean, I see that you're in a fifth wheel trailer. Maybe that's your home. I'm not sure, but that is not safe at all. Look, I know it's an inconvenience, and I get it. But this is your life we're talking about, and you do not need to stay in a mobile home or a trailer during weather events like this. You just don't. I know, right, Pat? I remember it too. That was a crazy night. The folks who don't remember all of that, we're talking about the Daleville game between Hanley and Daleville. Golly, what year was that? 92? 92 or 93, I think. Anyway, I moved to Roanoke from Daleville. That's where I was. And I did Warhawk football the year before. I moved to Roanoke, and we turned right around and go down there and play them the very next year. And this was for a run at the state championship. And I honestly believe that had we not been robbed that night, we would have won the state championship that year. We got robbed. Yeah, the worst of it will be anytime after midnight. I'm thinking probably close to 1 a.m. before the main line comes through East Alabama. But it could start raining as early as 11 p.m. Then we may have an hour or two of light to moderate rain, and then that wind is going to continue even before the line of thunderstorms get here. And then the main line comes through somewhere between 1 and 2. And then we'll have an hour or two of rain after the main line. And we're watching to see how this is going to evolve. Notice that we're having thunderstorms down here in south central Alabama, or actually central Alabama, that's going tornadic well in advance of the main line. Let me get my color crayons out again. That's the main line right there. And we have a tornado warning down here for Perry County. Well, that didn't work out well. Let me clear that. Let me go for it again here. We have a tornado warning right there. And the main line of storms is inside of those two white lines right there. This is the main line of storms right here. So you can see we've already got one storm that's gone tornadic out ahead of the main line. So, we're just going to have to see. It is 9:46 Central now, and so the leading edge of the rain is coming into Talladega and Clay County, and then it's probably a good hour and a half before the severe stuff gets into East Alabama. So 9:40, 10:40, it's going to be after 11:30, midnight, somewhere around there. And then we'll have to watch for these storms that are running out ahead of the main line to see if they start to go severe. And if they do, in East Alabama, then that could speed things up a bit. So you just got to remain weather aware from now throughout the remainder of the night. Yeah, the winds have turned out of the south, Auburn, so that's why it's warmed up considerably outside just in the last couple of hours. And the wind is crazy unreal. We're looking at winds gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour across the entire area. Tin Chops in the house. County Road 87. Fortson is in the house. That's down there in Harris County, Georgia. Ephesus. JB is in the house. Patio furniture secure. Good boy. Y'all, JB is my unsung hero. I hope he's not still listening, because that'll just blow his head all out of proportion. He did a lot of work on Dr. Don's website, still continues to do a lot of work on it, and helps us out behind the scenes a good bit. We appreciate him. Saban's got the team out on the practice field getting ready to push the storm back, huh? Yeah, I'm beginning to see those reports too. That's that Central Perry. That's this storm we're talking about right here. And it looks mean on the radar. Birmingham continues the tornado warning for Central Perry County. This is a confirmed tornado located 14 miles southwest of Linden, moving northeast at around 55 miles per hour. So that's going to be this storm right here. That's going to be to the southwest of Maplesville. You folks over there in Chilton County, this storm is probably not going to affect you. It's going to end up going across southeastern Bibb County, I do believe. Actually, we have two. We have this one down here by Linden, and then we have that one up there in central Perry County. I got to tell you, the one in Perry County looks better to me. But then this other one down here to the east of Butler, which is just south of Linden. That is a nasty-looking storm also. And they're both going to run pretty much the same track or very close to it. I'm just curious as to what that one looks like on the velocity product. Wow. That's about as classic as you're going to get right there, folks. That's your tornado right there. Pretty close to the intersection of 183 and 219 in Perry County. Just to the west, maybe a little bit southwest of Maplesville. So we're looking at, back to the reflectivity, and look at it. Couple of different views here. All right, there are some times for you. We're talking Montevallo at 10:21, Calera around 10:25, Alabaster at 10:31, Pelham around 10:34, Columbiana 10:35, Chelsea around 10:43, and Wilsonville out there at the steam power plant around 10:44 p.m. if the storm holds together. I'll zoom out so you can kind of see the track on this. So if you know folks who live in Alabaster, if you know folks who are down there at the University of Montevallo and the Pelham area, you might want to call them and make sure they understand. We've got a tornado down there, and they've just extended the warning on out to include eastern and southeastern Bibb County, and also it's catching part of Chilton County, though I think the tornado part's going to primarily stay in Bibb County. And then as we go back down to the Linden storm, give you some times on that one. Linden around 10:03, Providence Community about 10:05, Funsdale around 10:19, Uniontown at 10:22, New Bern around 10:29, and Marion by 10:40. Let me zoom out and show you what I'm talking about. So there's your northern storm, and here's your southern storm, and they're both really taking almost the exact same track. And here comes a brand new tornado warning now. This one is going to be, wow, right next to that northern storm. This one is going to be a tornado warning for southeastern Tuscaloosa County in west central Alabama and central Bibb County in central Alabama until 10:30. At 9:51, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Brent, moving to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. So Bibb County, now you have two possible tornadoes affecting your county. One is near Brent, and then the other one is just south of Brent, down there in the southeastern corner of the county. So dual tornado threats in Bibb County now. And let me run some times on that one. We're talking West Blockton at 10:01. Helena around 10:26. This is getting into very heavily populated areas. Pelham at 10:27. Bessemer at 10:27. We're talking about Hoover at 10:34. Vestavia Hills at 10:37. Homewood at 10:38. Cahaba Heights around 10:40. Downtown Birmingham by 10:41. Mountain Brook by 10:42. Irondale at 10:46. Tarrant City around 10:46. And Fultondale around 10:47. So this one is has the potential, if it stays together, of actually getting into some very, very heavily populated areas there in Jefferson County. So if you know anybody that lives in Birmingham proper or to the south of Birmingham, give them a call. Make sure that they are aware of what's going on to their south and southwest. There are actually two tornadoes down there. One is in central or west central Bibb County. The other one is in southeast Bibb County. Both of them are moving to the northeast. We now have confirmation on the tornado on the ground now in southeastern Bibb County. This is a confirmed tornado, and the warning continues for northwestern Chilton, though I think the storm stays in Bibb County, southeastern Bibb County, until 10:45. At 9:52, a tornado-producing storm was located 9 miles east of Heidelberg or 13 miles south of Brent, moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. Let me go over here and see what the Weather Service is saying about this storm. Birmingham continues the tornado warning for Perry County until 10:15. A confirmed tornado was located near 10 miles northeast of Marion. That was about 10 minutes ago, so it's moved a little further northeast now. Tornado warning, tornado observed for Bibb and Chilton County until 10:45. At 9:52, a tornado-producing storm was located 9 miles east of Heidelberg or 13 miles south of Brent, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Here's another statement from the Weather Service. A significant tornado ongoing in far northeast Perry County, moving into southeast Bibb County. Considerable damage warning on the way. So they're about to issue another warning on this storm down here on the southern end of Bibb County, and this is a considerable damage storm. Those are strong verbiage that the Weather Service doesn't use very often. But that's for this southern storm that's coming up into southeastern Perry County. It's going to stay west of Maplesville, but this is going to cause some problems down here. It already is, and this may end up being our first significant report of structural damage from tornadoes tonight. This is a good-looking signature. I mean, there's no question we have a tornado right there. Crossing over 219, about to cross into southeastern Bibb County out of Perry County. just to the south of Brent, Alabama. I'll be crossing over Highway 82 in the next 5 minutes or so. And then that will continue on up to the northeast. So everybody up there at Montevallo, the University of Montevallo, you need to be in your safe place. Rodney, I agree with you 100%, my friend, but God gave you a brain to think with. And in situations like this, you need to use it. And staying in a mobile home or a cardboard box, neither one of those options are good. I hear you, brother. I do. Trust me. But folks who look at it that way, are not doing anything to protect themselves. I know the good Lord can protect you. Trust me, I know. He's protected me more than once in my life, not just from storms, but from lots of things. But he gave you a brain for a reason, and you need to use it. Folks, this entire line is moving off to the east and will move through East Alabama. That includes all those places that y'all are asking specific questions about. They're all in East Alabama. The line itself, the worst part of this, will move in sometime after midnight, probably between midnight and 1 a.m., and then it'll last for, I think the worst of it will probably only last for 30 to 45 minutes, but it's going to rain for several hours. The wind's going to continue to blow for several hours. The wind's with us now at least until we get to the back side of this. So it's going to be rainy and windy. Light rain's moving into East Alabama now, and then the rain will slowly begin to increase over the next couple of hours, and then the heavy line will move through. It's possible we could get some singular storms out ahead of the main line, which is what we're seeing develop now in central Alabama. We're beginning to see some of these thunderstorms go tornadic well in advance of the main line. So that is possible. So this is, being able to tell you exactly what time it's going to start storming in your front yard, that's impossible. I can give you a window, and I think that the best window of opportunity for severe weather starts at around midnight, give or take a few minutes here or there, and will continue through about 2 a.m. Franklin, Georgia, yes, Tiffany, it will. It'll be another couple of hours before you see anything over there. Warner Robins, it's going to be, you got a ways to go. We'll just kind of have to see how this line evolves over the next several hours. It's going to be early morning. I say early morning, probably around daybreak or so, maybe just before daybreak, before it comes through Warner Robins. We should be in a weakening mode by that time, so I would not expect to see the volume of tornado warnings over there in Warner Robins as we're seeing right now in West Alabama. Let me put it that way. Satellite imagery is showing isolated residents in the path of the significant tornado now crossing into southeastern Bibb County. Wow, I've never seen that before. So they're actually looking ahead of the storm on satellite to see How many homes are in the direct path of the tornado? That's pretty cool right there. All right, so the tornado warning has been canceled for Perry County. That's because the storm is now completely up here in Bibb County. I don't know if y'all remember the great tornado outbreak of 1974, but the Centerville Brent area just got demolished back in, I think it was 73 or 74. West Blockton down to Brent, and that county's being hit pretty hard again. We have 2 tornado warnings for 2 separate tornadoes in Bibb County. One's up here around West Blockton. The other's down here in southeastern Bibb County. And not to take away from the West Blockton storm because that's serious, but this one down here near Brent, or just to the southeast of Brent, is on the ground and it is causing considerable damage. Let me run the times on this one again. This is over in central Alabama. Jemison at about 10:18, Calera around 10:25, Columbiana at 10:35, Chelsea at 10:43, Wilsonville over there on the lake at around 10:43, Harpersville 10:50, Childersburg 10:51. So that's getting into our coverage area there. That's over in Talladega County. Bon Air around 10:51 and Vincent around 10:53. That's the track they're putting on it, and we're going to go with that. So if you're inside that polygon, I suggest you go ahead and go to your safe place. If you're over here in Childersburg or anywhere between southeastern Bibb County, extreme northwestern Chilton, extreme southeastern Shelby County, or over here in southwestern Talladega County, I would go to my safe place. Especially up here in Talladega County, maybe you've got a few minutes. I would just continue to monitor maybe for another few minutes or so, and let's see exactly which way this storm goes. I think it's going to be, though, I think it's going to end up, if it holds together, it's going to probably run the the Shelby County, Talladega County line. PDS is a particularly dangerous situation. That's attached to a watch. You don't have a PDS tornado. You have a PDS tornado watch. You can have a tornado debris signature tornado. A debris signature tornado, a TDS. But a PDS is attached to a tornado watch. It's a particularly dangerous situation. So it doesn't really have a EF level. Well, folks, I had intended on stepping aside and coming back around 11:30 or 11:45, but we've got a bad situation unfolding there in Bibb County, which is not in our coverage area. But if it holds together, it's going to end up awfully close to Talladega County, which is in our coverage area. So I'm going to stay with you. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to leave the feed up. I'm going to step away from the microphone for just a few moments. A couple of things I want to look at. I got to get the coffee started too. And then I'll be right back, and we'll continue to watch this storm as long as it stays together and continues to move toward one of our counties here in East Alabama. And we have more tornado warnings popping down there in southwest Alabama as well. So stay with us. I'm going to bring the music up just a bit, and I'll be right back with you as we continue our coverage here on Dr. Don's Weather. folks, Dr. Dodd back in here with you. We continue our live severe weather coverage for you this evening. It is coming up on 10:17 p.m. on March 30th, 2022, and you are looking at a live shot of our Southern Union State Community College Live Doppler HD radar scanning Alabama now from the Shelby County Airport at Birmingham. And the National Weather Service office at the Shelby County Airport is preparing to evacuate the National Weather Service office due to this tornado that is on the ground now in the southeastern corner of Bibb County in this area here. Let's see. Can't we see that? Let me put Telestrator back on, and we'll see if we can get this to populate. There's just so much on the screen, it's hard to see. I apologize. So your tornado is actually, move that down just a little bit further. Possible tornadoes right in there, and it is moving in this direction. All right, you see, if you look real close, you see a little circle right there. That's where the National Weather Service office is located. So this tornado is moving directly at the National Weather Service office. And so they will go into, they have a tornado drill just like everybody else does. And so they will go into their tornado drill, and the National Weather Service office over in Peachtree City over in Atlanta will take over warning duties now for the state of Alabama until all is clear there at the National Weather Service office in Birmingham. So that process is in the process of taking place right now. Let me give you some times. And so here are some times on this tornado warning. The tornado will be in the Montevallo area at around 10:25. So if you know anybody that is there at the University of Montevallo, the sirens should be going off. They should be evacuating. But if you know anybody that's going to school at the University of Montevallo or lives in that area, call them and make sure they know what's going on. We're looking at arrival in the Chelsea area around 10:50, Harpersville by 11 p.m., Vincent by 11:03, Leeds by 11:08, and Moody by 11:12. So this may stay away from the Sylacauga area. I think maybe just a little bit west of Sylacauga over there in Talladega County. But definitely right now the biggest danger is going to be right there at the University of Montevallo. Tornado confirmed on the ground there. We also have a tornado confirmed on the ground just to the northeast of downtown Tuscaloosa. That's going to work up into western Jefferson County. I think that one is going to stay away from the downtown Birmingham area, and then this storm down here northeast of Brent should also stay south of downtown Birmingham. So I think downtown Birmingham and to the points south, maybe down to around the 459 I-65 corridor, I think you're okay. I think one's going to go to your west and one is going to go to your east. Then we have another thunderstorm that is possibly producing a tornado back down to the south. And this is going to be for northeastern Perry County. A tornado warning in effect until 11 p.m. This is for a tornado capable of producing a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located 8 miles south of Marion, moving to the northeast at around 60 miles per hour. So we have 2 confirmed tornadoes on the ground, one northeast of Tuscaloosa, one northeast of Brent. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground to the south and east of Demopolis. And then we have a tornado warning up here in Perry County also. Let's look at this one down here southeast of Demopolis. This is going to be a tornado warning that remains in effect until 10:30 p.m. That's just a few more minutes, and that's going to be for northeastern Marengo County. That's in southwest Alabama. Well, there's a new one. Brooke Wellborn is in an airplane somewhere over Colorado on their way inbound to Birmingham. So I don't know that we've ever had anybody join us during our severe weather coverage that was 30,000 feet above Earth. So welcome, Brooke. And you are flying into Birmingham this evening. If you're about 2 hours away, I think the line of thunderstorms will have cleared Birmingham by that time, so hopefully you'll be able to land on time. Hey, Cassie. Yeah, we're keeping a real close watch on East Alabama. Just stay with us, and we'll keep you updated on what's happening here. We have multiple tornadoes on the ground over in central Alabama. We do not have any tornado activity that right now that would threaten East Alabama, but this entire line is moving east. So this weather will make its way into East Alabama in the next hour and a half. But we'll have to wait and see if this stuff is still this strong by the time it gets into East Alabama. The good news is, so far, we have not seen the tornado watch extended further east, though I would expect that to happen pretty much now at any time. I'm going to zoom out so we can see the overall picture, and I'm going to take the reflectivity off, and then you can see the watches and warnings that are in effect. The yellow area, that's the tornado watch that's currently in effect. The orange polygons are severe thunderstorm warnings, and then the red and white flash are tornado warnings. The purple looking polygons are confirmed tornadoes that are on the ground. And then down there in southeast Alabama, just about every county from Mobile north, in southwest Alabama now under a severe thunderstorm warning, with a couple of tornado warnings down there near Mobile, just to the west and southwest of Mobile. A couple of different products I want to look at here and see if we can pick up. We had debris signatures on both of these storms in central Alabama. And it's really hard to pick out right there. That's pretty noisy. Let's look at this from Montgomery. That's still pretty noisy. It's hard to see. All right, let's switch to level 3 and take it. See what that shows us. Yeah, that's still noisy. I can't really tell much about that. Let's try the velocity. No good. Go back to level 2 and go to the velocity. Also no good. All right, let's see what Atlanta can show us. That's just too far off, and the storm's right on top of the Birmingham radar site. So it's going to be kind of hard to see until we get that storm past the radar site there at Birmingham. So we go back to the reflectivity. And go back to level 2. Back out a bit, and y'all just bear with me. I'm just trying to look at several different things here to see if we can pick up. Okay, that's still on Peachtree. Let's go back to Birmingham. All right, now it looks better. All right, I think we have lost the tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County. All right, they have canceled one of the tornado warnings for Bibb County. That's going to be the well, both storms are out of Bibb County now, so that's the reason for the cancellation. So we should have just have Shelby County. And they canceled the tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County. They are continuing the tornado warning for Shelby County. This is an observed tornado at 10:29 p.m. A confirmed tornado was located over American Village or over Montevallo, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So we have a confirmed tornado over Montevallo, right there at the University of Montevallo, and it's moving off to the northeast. All right, so I'm going to run the polygon on this, the warning on this storm. We're looking at Chelsea here at about Chelsea at about 10:54. If it holds together, Leeds at around 11:13, Moody at 11:18, Pell City around 11:27, and Odenville at around 11:28. If this storm holds together, I'm hoping the trend is one of weakening here because we lost that tornado warning up here in Tuscaloosa County. These storms are beginning to get up into some air that's a little more stable. So I really hope that we start to see a weakening indication on this Montevallo storm over the next few minutes or so. But if you know anybody that's in that area there, be sure and call them and tell them, make sure they're aware of what's going on. Now, we're beginning to see some moderate showers over in Clay County and Talladega County, but nothing tornadic at all. That main line is still back off to the west. We actually kind of have two different lines forming now. That's the leading edge of the first line, and then this is the leading edge of the second line. It's not a well-defined line. Neither one of them are. We've got ripples all up and down both of those lines, but the system overall is moving to the east, and the individual storms are moving northeast. So this storm that's over Montevallo will continue on up and cross over I-20 up around Leeds, Alabama. And then as the entire system slowly moves east, we'll have new storms formed down here on the south end. and they will move northeast. So any severe weather that might make its way into East Alabama, you really got to kind of look down here to the southwest to see what's going on down there, because that's what would end up moving into East Alabama. And we do have at least one thunderstorm that's producing a possible tornado to the southwest of Clanton that we would need to keep an eye on. That's a tornado warning that remains in effect until 11 p.m. this evening for northeastern Perry County. About 7 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Marion, moving to the northeast at 55. Same area as this storm that's moving through Montevallo came from. So we're seeing the same areas get hammered here tonight. And then down here in South Alabama, a big thunderstorm right over Monroeville right now that is showing signs of rotating, but they have not issued a tornado warning on that one yet. They do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect down there. And now we have tornado warnings in the Mobile metro area. Right there in downtown Mobile and just to the north of downtown Mobile, out there where the big bridge is, we have a tornado warning there for the northern sections of Mobile County. Do I think the storms could be recycling? I don't know that we're in a recycling mode. So the short answer to that question is no. I don't think so. Rome, Georgia, you got another probably 2 hours, maybe even a little longer than that, before the main line of storms get to you. I mean, they're just now moving into Birmingham, so you got a ways to go. Well, it all depends on how strong the storms are when they get to Alexander City as to whether or not Alexander City will be hit hard or not. I mean, we expect this line to start weakening. We've certainly lost the heat of the day now, and the parent low pressure system that is causing this trailing cold front that's moving across Alabama is with every moment that passes. That parent low pressure system is moving further and further off to the northeast, up into Indiana, and eventually up into the Great Lakes region. And the further that anchoring low pressure system gets away from Alabama, we should start to see these storms slowly weaken. But it goes back to what I've been telling you guys for the last 24 to 48 hours. Even though we expect to see a weakening trend, these storms are weakening from a very strong state. So they could still be rather respectable when they come through East Alabama and West Georgia. So overall, I think we will start to see these storms calm down a little bit, but they're still going to be pretty strong. I mean, we have strong winds in place already before the thunderstorms even get there. So this is I'm not ready to call this a red letter severe weather outbreak across Alabama, but it's darn close. Get her, Cassie. Tell her to turn that Dr. Don feed on and watch what's going on. Michelle, if you're in a mobile home, you need to try to find somewhere else to go. You do not need to stay in a mobile home tonight. I mean, this thing may move through. We may not have any problems at all, and I certainly hope that's what happens. But the opportunity is there tonight. The weather setup is there to a point where it's just not safe for anybody to stay in a mobile home. Well, your next question is, well, where in the world do I go? Well, you call somebody. You got to know somebody that lives in a home. If you don't, you've got to find a way to go somewhere else. It's just not safe to stay in a mobile home. It's not safe before the storms get there tonight because of the wind we already have. Gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour, that's bringing down trees statewide. And, of course, we know that mobile homes are no match for trees. So about 3 minutes ago, the National Weather Service office in Birmingham is continuing the tornado warning for Shelby County. They're now classifying it as a radar-indicated tornado. At 10:34, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Shelby County Airport or near Alabaster, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So that possible tornado now is moving directly over the National Weather Service office there at Birmingham. Getting reports of some damage up in Tuscaloosa County. That was from an earlier tornado warning that has since been canceled. So here's the good news. At the moment, we only have 2 tornado warnings in central Alabama. We do have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, but at the moment we only have 2. We did have 3. We did have 4 at one time in central Alabama, so we've lost 2 of them. And the warning for Shelby County, it's really hard to say. The reflectivity doesn't look nearly as impressive as it did, but now you got to understand it's sitting right on top of the radar. So the radar, obviously, it doesn't see very well directly overhead. So it's going to take about another 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes to get this thing on past the radar site before we get a good look at it again. And Atlanta and Montgomery both, neither one of those sites are giving us a good look at this storm. All right, so the community center in Woodland is open for anybody needing shelter that needs to leave a mobile home. So, folks, let's be courteous here and make sure that we leave that shelter there for folks who live in mobile homes. And I mean, if you live in a brick or a wood-built structure, you're much safer than folks who live in a mobile home. So we're being told the community center in Woodland is now open for anyone who needs shelter that maybe lives in a mobile home. And there's folks on here offering for folks who live in mobile homes to come to their house. And that's cool. That's what we're supposed to do. So Gabrielle says that they generally go sit in the parking deck at the hospital. Well, yeah, I'll agree with you. That's better than being in a camper, but that's still not a very safe place to be, and it's the bridge theory. There was a time we used to tell folks who were on the interstate in their automobile to pull off and get under a bridge or an overpass, and then that actually happened, and that didn't work out well. Well, a parking deck's kind of the same theory. If you were to get a tornado that moved directly over you and through a parking deck, the vortex inside of that deck, it's going to be hard to withstand that. With that wind whipping around the corners and going through, and you've got vehicles in that parking deck that's going to start to be scrambled. So, I mean, maybe if it's a multi-level parking deck and there is a stairwell that you can get in, that certainly would be better than staying in a camper or a mobile home, and that would be much better than just going and sitting inside the parking deck. So, yeah, if there's a stairwell there, that would not be a bad option because most parking decks are made out of concrete anyway. I mean, I'm not sure exactly which hospital you're talking about, but you know, worst case scenario, go to the emergency room. Machiaville in the house. All right, we're told that the police department in Roanoke is open for shelter if you live in a mobile home. The tornado warning is over in Shelby County. That's just south of Birmingham, down there around Alabaster. And then we have another tornado warning down in southwest Alabama. This one is going to be for northeastern Perry County. That's actually getting up into central Alabama. Coming into the exact same area as the tornado that is now up in Shelby County. The one down there in Perry County is taking the exact same track. And going further, all right, we just lost the Shelby County tornado warning. That's good. So we just lost that tornado warning for Shelby County. All right. So what that means, folks, I'm going to step aside. And I'm going to gather some information, look at a few things, get the coffee pot going again. We do not have any severe weather threatening East Alabama at the moment with the loss of that Shelby County tornado warning. It's a good sign. Again, I told you we're waiting to see if that's what was going to happen because these storms are getting up into part of Alabama now where the atmosphere is a little more stable, and I hope that trend continues. So that's a good sign that they've allowed or canceled that tornado warning for Shelby County. That's a good sign for East Alabama. We still have a couple of active tornado warnings, the one down here in Perry County, and then we have an active warning for central Dallas County in south central Alabama. A thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Central Mills, or 13 miles southeast of Uniontown, moving to the northeast at 45. Now, we've got family and a lot of viewers down there in Dallas County, so let me look at this right quick. Yeah, this storm's near Oroville, and it's moving to the northeast. I think it stays just west of Selma, and Selma is not in the warning polygon, but if you're in Selma, pay very close attention to what's going on out there in case this thing were to start taking a right-hand turn. But the storm, the tornado, the possible tornado is near Oroville, moving to the northeast at about 47 miles per hour. And then we have multiple tornado warnings down here in Mobile. We have one, two, I think we have three possible tornadoes in the Mobile area. From just east of Pascagoula, Mississippi, into downtown Mobile. We have a possible tornado right there at the Battleship, right there on the north end of the causeway. Rough night down there in Mobile. And then a multitude of severe thunderstorm warnings all the way up this line. But we are beginning to see a decrease in severe thunderstorm warnings in central Alabama. And I don't believe we have any. Maybe we have one up here in North Alabama. Let me take the reflectivity off. Okay, so we're warning for the entire line from just northeast of Jasper all the way up into Tennessee as that moves across. So that's up in North Alabama. You folks over in northwest Georgia, pay attention to that. I know we had some folks in here earlier asking questions from Rome. So the Weather Service in Birmingham and Huntsville warning for that entire segment of the line up there, North Alabama. Then we have a break in the action. We have the Perry County tornado warning, and then we have the Dallas County tornado warning, and then we pick up again with severe thunderstorm warnings down here in southwest Alabama, down through Monroeville, and then tornado warnings in Mobile. So if this trend continues, so East Alabama and West Georgia is right over here. So if this trend continues, if we do not see any more re-strengthening of the storms, then there's a possibility that we may not have any warnings across East Alabama. The line is definitely still going to come through East Alabama. It's still going to be windy. It's still going to be rainy. It's still going to be thunder and lightning. It's still going to storm. But just maybe if this trend continues, we can keep these storms below severe limits as they move into East Alabama. We're watching it. I'm going to take the feed down and regroup, and I'll be back with you. What time is it now? It's 10:49, so it's coming up on 11 o'clock. I'll be back with you by 11:45 or midnight at the latest, if for no other reason, just to kind of give you an update. If something were to change between now and then, of course, I'll come back before then. So you are listening to severe weather coverage on Dr. Don's Weather, and we would ask that if you possibly can, that you consider supporting us on, there's several different ways you can do that. If you're on Facebook, the quick, simple, and easy is to simply send us stars, and that's where you get the stars from. I just posted the link. If you want to go over to our website, it's drdonwx.com. And there's the link to the website. There's a donate button there on the upper right-hand corner of our page. And all of it's quick, fast, and secure. We appreciate anything you can do to help us out. And I will be back between 11:45 and midnight with at least an update. And then we will go into continued long-form coverage if conditions warrant that. We'll see. Hopefully it will not. But I'll see you back in here at around 11:45 with more from Dr. Don's Weather as we continue to watch this severe weather event across the state of Alabama.